Up y'all, Big Herc 916. I'm out here at the Malibu Autobahn car meetup, and I'm gonna take a little stroll through here, but my boy just pulled up Ren, so I'm gonna let him talk about his Porsche. He's got a sick ass custom purple Porsche with wide body flares, the whole nine. So I'm gonna get some input from him on his car and let you guys check out a really nice hand customized Porsche 996. All right, Ren, what's up, man?
What's up, man? I'm Ren.
So you know, this is his what do you call it? What do you call it, Ren?
The Purple Beast.
The Purple Beast. This thing is pretty sick, you guys. All custom body work. He did this shit by hand, and as you can see, everything's super clean as far as the flares, and he did this at home. This is something he did in his garage, and the car is his own special color. You can see his signature right here on the back, and you can recognize it by the spoiler. He always talks about the wing. What is it about the wing?
Chicks dig the wing.
Yeah, this thing is it's fat, y'all. It's got a ridiculous body kit on it, very customized, one-off. If you guys are trying to get something like this done, holler at me, shoot me a message, and I'll see if my boy can make time, because he's a working man, but he loves cars. But I'm gonna let him explain a little bit more about what he did with the car and how he came about putting together this body kit. So Ren, give the people a little insight.
Okay, originally it started out as a 996 2001, and I wanted to build a street legal cup car, but Porsche wouldn't sell me the pieces for their race cars. So I ended up finding a guy in Poland whose buddy races for Porsche, and he built the flares for them. Unfortunately, it's for the flares that I got were for a 997, and the bodies are a little bit different. It's a little bit rounder. So when I bought the flares from him, I ended up having to basically customize the whole thing, basically start from scratch. The only thing I ended up using from the race car that he sent, pieces that he sent me, was the bottom half of the bumper, because I had to make the top half to go on a 996, because it was a 997 race bumper. So I used the front and back bumpers, which I had to cut in half and make my own, mold the two together to come to one. And then the flares, I just basically started from scratch. One side took me about 2.5 to 3 months, and to match the other side, since I didn't have a computer, it was all done by hand and a grid, you know, measuring, you know, eighth of an inch, in some cases a 16th of an inch to match both flares. The other side took about 7 months, 7.5 months to actually match, because I think I must have started and stopped about 4 or 5 times because they weren't perfect for my eyes. Now, if you actually look at the car, you'll see that because it was done by hand, they're not exactly the same, but if I didn't tell you that, you wouldn't see it. You'll have to get a tape measure and measure it, but you'll see there's very slight differences between the left and right, and again, that's because it was all done by hand. The whole project took me a little over a year. The paint, it's actually a 1970 Dodge Charger, House of Colors, Sunset Hot Rod Purple, but I did it over a white base instead of a navy blue or black with the metal flakes, so it's a little bit lighter than what the Dodge Charger would be. As for engine, it's just got a reflash. I did my own exhaust because I had to bring it out the center. Only the race cars had that. Now all the new cars have center exhaust, but back when I did this, you know, they didn't have it, except for maybe I think the Boxer. And you're looking at, what, maybe 6 years since it's been done. When I started it, RWB, they had just kind of started coming on the scene, so, and they didn't have anything for this car anyway. So most of the times when I go to the shows and guys see it, they're like, you know, I says, no, it's not an RWB. It was kind of done pretty much almost the same time he started. Everything, like I said, it was done in my garage. It's just something I do in my spare time. You know, it's just keep me out of the strip club, so to speak.
You guys hear that? Spare time.
It's my, yeah. You know, so the hard part is not being afraid to cut the fenders with a high speed. You have a perfectly good car, and you sit there with a high speed and you're starting to hack pieces off of it. But originally I started with RX-7s way back. I'm going back. I'm not going to give you my age, but that's where I started with the wide body kit. I'm a fan of the old IMSA races and IROC races from circa 1980, 1990. which were the black wheels and the big wing, because they were kind of playing around with the downforce. The black wheels was to hide the brake dust, because it would be nasty back in the day because they were still using asbestos. And it kind of stuck with me with the wide fender flares. Remember, some of you guys know about the 930s and the 935s. That's how Porsche cheated, because they were getting it was like 800 some odd horsepower that they said, but I think they were lying. But to get it to the ground, they had to put these huge tires on the car, and the rules were the tires had to be under a fender. Hence the wide body world was, that's how they went around the rules. They said, hey, it's still part of the car and it's still under the fender, we just stretch the fenders out. But of course, you know, as time went on, they kind of changed the rules, and you know, what size tire you can know the max, to try and even the playing field, because they were just running away from everybody. But other than that, this is my, I've done 1, 2, 3 Porsches and 3 RX-7s, and like I said, it's just a hobby. Now, word to the wise, you never work on the car, you need to drive to work.
There you go.
Tell anybody that, I don't care who you are, if you need the car to go to work, don't touch it. Just leave it alone. So what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to sacrifice one for the other. Now, most of the time, about 98% of the time, I call it my Sanford and Son truck. It's my old Toyota truck. I don't wash it. It's faded. It runs like a champ, but it gets me back and forth to work. So when this sits up for a year, it doesn't bother me. So that was a lesson I had to learn when I was younger, because when I first started playing with RX-7s, I started screwing around with the car I needed to go to work, and then, you know, having to bum a ride here, bum a ride there, and I learned my lesson the hard way, because once you start street porting and playing with carburation, sometimes the cars just don't want to start. RX-7s, not Porsches. So again, if you're gonna play with your car, other than, you know, just bolting cosmetics on, if you're gonna do anything with it, make sure that it can get you to work. I'm a regular working guy, so now if you don't need to work and you've got that kind of money, then it doesn't matter. You can, you know, basically do whatever you want. But from just anybody, I mean, you start with anything. I always said, you know, have your personality extend into your car. Even if you have a station wagon, who cares? It's yours. Do what you want to do with it. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Because before this, I had an orange and then a bright green, neon green Porsche, and all the times when I went to paint it, people were saying, are you crazy? They don't paint Porsches that color. Well, they do on mine, and then now all those colors, everybody wants them, and they're factory. So, and you know, you just basically got to find your little niche, basically got to find what you like, and just whatever you do, you know, sometimes, I'm not saying don't listen to your friends, but just take it with a grain of salt. If you have a vision, and you have like, you know what, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, then you just do it. And you know what, because it's you, it's your car, who cares? At the end of the day, it's you, and you love it, who cares what anyone else thinks? But there's the old saying, you may not like what I've done, but you're gonna notice it, and you're gonna comment on it. And then, to me, that's the whole thing with the car culture. You know, you sit there, you might not, there's people come up to the car and goes, why would you do that to a Porsche? And we ended up in a conversation for an hour, and you know, everything. And now we become friends. You know, so you gotta be you, put you into your car, and just go with it.
There you guys have it. A Porsche builder, aficionado, customizer, and like I said, man, he did a hell of a job on this Porsche. If you guys have any questions about it, shoot me a message and I'll respond, and I look forward to your comments. Got a couple of cool cars on the video so far, but I ran into my homeboy Ren. This guy's a Porsche fanatic and you know, perfectionado, but he does custom work on body kits. You guys have seen RWB Liberty Walk. Well, they can't really fuck with my boy, I'm sorry to say. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him kind of talk about the Porsche he did. That's pretty sick.